to T-Boys TV. Obviously, we're back again with another Hatter Show, obviously, episode 95. And what time it is to be a Hatter right now. Obviously, we beat Watford, which we'll be getting into, of course. And then, obviously, we're getting into another, don't know what that noise was, another big game tomorrow. Obviously, early kickoff on TV. Back again on TV against Millwall, especially. So, yeah, but like always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
All good. Got a smile on your face. And I mean, so about to talk about that win. Obviously, you haven't managed to talk about it yet. So, yeah, man, let's get into it. So, obviously, we took on Watford, as we know. Obviously, in the derby. Both confident, going into it that we was going to get a win. Obviously, you said 3-2. You thought it'd be one of them sort of Bournemouth games. Obviously, I said 1-0. Obviously, I was very close in the end, but obviously Campbell sealed it. Obviously, the lineup was what we expected, bar one player. And it was obviously good to see that player back. So, obviously, the lineup, Ethan in goal, back three of Osho, Lockyer and Bell. Obviously, Drame on the right, Doherty on the left. And then midfield, Nakamba, Campbell and Pelly Ruddock. Now, obviously, I had that little sense of hope they could potentially be in just because it is against, Watford. And they did say the injury was, weeks instead of months. So I did have maybe a little feeling, but then I was thinking it's probably a bit too early. So it was brilliant to see him back, of course. Obviously, a Luton legend, as we know. And then obviously Morris and Elijah up front, expected. And then obviously your bench, Berry, Bradley, Burke, Lansbury, Shea, Taylor, Woodrow. Now, I remember saying on the vlog, the only thing I'm gutted about is obviously Clark not being there. But obviously, with how the game went, it didn't really matter in the end. I didn't think it would anyway. I just thought, obviously, how good he's been, how good he is as that cam as well. Obviously, it'd been good for him to try and, make something happen in that game as well. Because he, obviously the last game for me, he wasn't playing where he should be. And it would have just been a good story in that sense. So, yeah, pretty much expected other than Pelly Ruddock. But brilliant to see him back, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, 100%. Like we would thought it was some kind of error or something, especially. And then Clark. I don't think he's. I don't think he's injured. I just think he's just not. Maybe he's carrying a little bit. So just
yeah. Something not too serious.
Yeah, it was surprising, and I was thinking, because the way he come off, they come out and said, it's going to be weeks, but then you think, about 3 weeks or something. Do you know what I mean? Might be back for like playoffs or whatever. But then they're just there, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah, obviously we was on the phone because I got in really, really early because I just thought the magnitude of the game, see where I was sitting as well because I'm not usually sitting where I usually tend to be, that sort of section. So I thought I'd just sink it in. Very good view, obviously thanks to Mike again for that. But yeah, no, absolutely. And when we saw it, we was on the phone like, what? Sorry? But yeah, no, it was good. But other than that, expected lineup, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And then it's like you said, when you thought he wasn't going to play, that's a shame that he weren't going to play. And he did play, and he didn't look like he was carrying any sort of injury whatsoever.
No.
and he was magnificent, really. Do you know what I mean? He was decent. He was very, very good. So
no, absolutely.
When it counts, he does get his critics, and I just find that I think it's just because he's come up through the rankings, really, and like other players would have gone, but you know what I mean. But he's staying, so people might have this thing in the back of their mind, like, no, he hasn't. He's not. But he's just developed with us. Sometimes slowly, but now he seems to get into the level of what other players developed at. And let's not forget he initially come from a Premier League side. Might not be Premier League for much longer.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that.
So, let's not forget that as well. So,
yeah, no, absolutely. And also, I was thinking to myself the other day, I just think under Rob Edwards, he's just a different level now. Right?
Yeah, he's not like technically gifted like certain players, but what he he's good at. He's part of breaking up the midfield, getting stuck in, and things like that. He's good at it.
Yeah. And since Rob Edwards has come in, we've looked at a lot of games, and it's been hard to not put Ruddock in it.
Yeah, he's always
in that shift.
Part of the foundations, mate. That's the
that.
thing. Yeah. So it's not all about just whether he can dribble past 15 players. Half the team can't anyway. So eventually, we will outshine him. Let's be honest. But at the moment, he deserves to be with us and part of the journey. And what other if we do get promoted, what other footballer can say that they've played in every single league like that? There might be a couple possibly, but not come up, stayed at the same club.
Yeah, the same club. Yeah, exactly. That's the difference.
I think so. That's what I mean. So
yeah,
if our players jump from non-league to Championship to Premier League, Vardy, Andre Gray, do you know what I mean? So it's
look what he's doing now. Jeez, I didn't even know he was playing in Greece. It's mad. It's absolute madness. But yeah, no, absolutely. Let's go through some comments. A lot of people inside. Big up yourselves. Yeah, I saw that today. I saw it in a couple of people's stories, which is interesting because I swear he's not even that old.
Right.
I don't know. I might be wrong, but
he's below 30.
Yeah, I was going to say, big up Tide, big up Daz, big up yourself, mate, big up yourself, big up Hanno as well. He says hi. Obviously, big up yourself as well, Blue Terrier. Yes, T-Boy, big up yourself, mate. You going tomorrow? No, I will not be going tomorrow. Me and my dad are actually going to be doing a watch long together. So, yeah, that's what's going on tomorrow. So, yeah, and obviously we'll get into this. 100%. So, yeah, obviously going into the game. Now, I thought we were absolutely brilliant in this game, especially at the start. Being at the ground, the atmosphere is rocking, even when the players were warming up. And you could tell the players just felt that, going into the game and just put in a really good performance. I felt, in the first half, before we scored, for me, it just felt like a matter of time. The chances we were having, Campbell very unlucky not to, score before, obviously he scored later on. The keeper tipped it over. We had another chance where Bell went for a shot. Flipping hell, that was not far away at all. Jeez, I've got that on record as well. I was thinking at the time, but the guy's been brilliant for us. At the time, I thought Morris should have maybe went for an effort because he did have quite a lot of space, but flipping hell, wasn't far away from Bell. So they were the main sort of chances I'd have said we, had before the goal. But obviously the goal, Osho, the play, right? I didn't notice being there because I'm just too synced into the atmosphere, and obviously I'm just wanting us to get a goal because of the chances we've had. But I didn't realise the goal, it literally was one-touch football, until I saw a replay of it. And Osho redeeming himself after, obviously, the last game against them and putting us 1-0 up. But brilliant team play before that. Like Stephen says there, Pelly was effective in the first goal. A lot of players were, but he was up there as well, of course, because he was part of that play. And it was just a brilliant goal, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, definitely. There's passing, and they were our defensive players as well, passing it around like that. And yeah, that's good, really good football, and that's what I've been saying. We've been playing football like that quite a lot. And I did call that Osho scored, but I'm glad he did. He deserved it. Felt like the way he's been playing anyway recently. And just before that, we nearly scored as well, where it was a scramble in the box and he was trying to let off a shot and all that as well. So, that just the way it was played around, and they didn't know, they couldn't cope with it. And yeah, well deserved. And then from then, I thought, yeah, we're probably gonna. I can't see it, I can't see them doing much now. Because I said that I reckon that they'd score. So we just keep getting these clean sheets. And I think they had one shot on target, which was Ethan, just,
So obviously, obviously the TikTok's up and running. I remember you saying, you don't feel we're going to get that clean sheet. And we did. I just, me personally, I just felt going into it was going to be one of them where, we just limited them to chances. It was just brilliant. It was just absolutely brilliant. I feel their only threat, but it wasn't even it was more a half and half was Pedro. Other than that, and their keeper for keeping them in it from being even more, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
There was no
like
one
that.
else.
He made a few decent saves, 2 or 3,
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, he even put his nuts on the line. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but no, absolutely. Obviously, Ruddock did get the assist on the goal as well. So yeah, there was that.
Morris had a really good shot as well. The keeper had to save.
Yeah, that was it. Oh yeah, that was in the first half. So yeah,
So
true.
yeah, we just caused them problems. And that's it. Do you know what I mean? They weren't, even if they were up for it, which we think, but they just couldn't cope with us. It's the level we've reached now. A couple of times they put some short 1-2 pass and triangles and that together, and they looked good at it. But so what? Like, you weren't doing anything with it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was pretty incredible, really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So obviously we go in 1-0 at half time. I remember a lot of people near me. I was definitely agreeing with them. They're saying we just need that, next goal to just shut up shop really because we were just so dominant. And to a certain extent, I did expect them to come out a little bit better in the second half. Well, better. It weren't like a little bit. They needed to come out better, but we were just the same really for me in going in that second half. Obviously, we had a few chances there as well. Obviously, Elijah had a very good chance. Obviously, on the vlog, I was like, Elijah, surely. So I just thought, the amount of space he had, the way the ball's come across. But to be fair, it was a good save. And that is about putting yourself on the line. That is what their keeper did there, to be fair. I just remember our fans saying some of the stuff to him in the Kenny stand, which, like Stephen says there, it was on fire. It was brilliant, to be fair. They were actually starting a lot of the chants that echoed around the whole ground, to be fair. So, yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, we just got that goal to seal it. Alan Campbell, who, like I said, was very unlucky not to score, obviously, in the first half. And yeah, it was absolute scenes, mate. Absolute scene. You want to know the definition of limbs? Just have a look at that Alan Campbell goal and the fans' reaction because that was just brilliant, man. Oh, run it, on the thing as well. Oh, it's class. Absolutely class, wasn't it, Dad?
Mm. And then the thing was, like, I think he'd just been booked or something just before that for with time wasting or whatever. I don't. It wasn't that.
Yeah,
and then we just from that we got a corner, and then just they couldn't cope. We were winning them corners. Like, we scored from a corner as well. We was playing the same ball. To Morris, head it back in. Done that a couple of times, and they just couldn't cope with it. But yeah, it's good to see him get a goal again. He's back in the team. He's looking good. Played really, really well, and just fair play to him for scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it was just absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Like I said, we just limited them to doing anything. And it was just brilliant to see, because obviously the magnitude of the game anyway.
Well, yeah. And I'll pick up as well, because I watched half of it on the Luton one and then some of it on the Watford one, and their commentators were absolutely ridiculous. They were saying, "Oh, look, but they're bang average. They've been like poor, they ain't even been that good and all this." Like, well, I have seen us play better as well. I'm not gonna, but it was a kind of game, but they still played very, very well. But I have seen them play just as well. Against Bristol City first half, Swansea, like Coventry last season, or what. I've seen them, yeah. Right. So if we were bang average in that game and we could have won 3-4-0, then you're lucky you didn't play us when we were on fucking fire then, really. But they were just,
yeah, exactly.
But the thing was, you could hear in their voices that they, even when we went 1-0 up, whatever, like before we'd scored the second, they were they knew that they weren't getting anything out of the game. They knew it was like dread. It was just like they didn't even want to be commentating on it. To be honest, good. Like we waited a long time for it. It was a bit emotional when the first goal went in. You know, because obviously growing up, like I didn't, you know, going and that, but I watched most of them games on the TV and that, and like we'd win mostly. Do you know what I mean? And we was a lot closer then, and you know, I said it's changing of the guard or whatever. And it is.
Yeah, 100%.
That, you know, they've got of course they've got potential. So they've still got some, but they're on the verge of getting right messed up. Like teams like Portsmouth, Sunderland, what happened to them? Because them players, they can't afford, they'll be off, mate. Half of them are going to be off anyway. So, yeah, it's good to see. And then obviously you got some twats and that after the game, giving it some new rule in football in the league where if you know it's 4-2 on aggregate and all this nonsense, like doesn't it? It's absolutely.
They're moving like it's a knockout game.
I don't even know what's the point of that is. Yeah, he beat us. Whatever, would beat you as well. You know, and look at what we've done since then and what you've done since then and how
exactly.
You had to win it. We could, like I said before, potentially we could have afforded to lose that game, and we'd still be in, you know what I mean, in a very good position. So it's just clutching at straws. That's all that is. What can we get? Yeah, but so we beat him. So yeah, just get over it. Yeah, just get over it. Start, you know, trying to do, you know, get your owners out who obviously ain't got a clue. Try and, you know, that's what you should be facing your wrath towards, not us. You know what I mean? Giving it the shit stadium. Yeah, we love the shit stadium, mate. Yours ain't exactly a fucking luxury palace either. And when we get our new stadium, it's going to be better than theirs anyway.
Facts.
You know what I mean? What are they going to say then? Yeah, but you ain't been in the Premier League. That's what we, you know, get in the Premier League. They go, you know, then it'll be like, yeah, but we was in there for 4 seasons. Yeah, we got relegated.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Time, didn't you? Do you know what I mean? Right. It's just embarrassing.
Yeah, it is. And it was just great to see their fans humbled because they're all sitting there before the game, you know, giving it Luton's a shit or you know, Luton. All in their, yeah, exactly. All in their groups and that. Humbled, mate. Yeah. Oh, mate, I'm not even going to go back to it. But yeah, I was absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it. It's just is what it is, you know. I had people call me deluded in my preview because I said I feel we'll win the game and get a clean sheet. Yeah, who's talking now? There's levels to this, yeah. Fools. But anyway, great win overall. Like we said. And we knew we was going to win the game. It was just obviously score lines and that. Like I said, I was very close. But Campbell just sealed the victory for us. But yeah, any final thoughts about the game overall before we get into the player ratings? Just brilliant.
Just, you know, it's, you know, amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Stephen says, and Campbell in front, yeah, it was limbs. Yeah, I could imagine for you it'd been absolutely crazy, especially like you say, like right in front of you. Madness. Jackie says hi to both of you. I was elated. Won my bet as well. I did a 2-1 and 2-0. Nice. They played like we did when we went there. Yeah, exactly. And like I said, if it wasn't for their keeper, it could have been even more. Honestly, I feel it could have been about 4 or 5. Honestly, you know, you think of the chances we had. You know, the Campbell chance.
You've been saying nothing then, or it's 4 all on aggregate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Then, would it? Oh, man.
Oh yeah, Steve says even Harry Potter's magic buses.
Mate, like what?
Yeah, that was shocking. When I saw that, I told you, didn't I?
Watford, but you know, like Luton, they used to have a bus that run through number 38. I think, you know, double decker bus with, you know, Luton badge and Luton colours on it and that. I don't know if they still got it, but do you know what I mean? Like, ain't Watford got that one of them or a couple of them? That would have been better for them. Do you know what I mean? Not like, yeah, you're sponsored by Harry Potter. Surprised they didn't have an Elton John one and all. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my god.
But
Oh.
I would have just said, fuck that, I'll walk, mate. You know what I mean? I'll walk up the M1 rather than get one of them buses, mate.
Oh dear. Lotman FC. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly that. But yeah, moving on to the player ratings. So yeah, obviously let's get into it. So obviously in goal, Ethan didn't have nothing to do, bar one. I think it was one cross by Pedro. You know, I think other than that, he literally had nothing to do. So I'm just going to go over 7.5.
Yeah, there was a shot that he had to deal with as well, but his distribution was good. You know what I mean? He was quite command. You know, he was alert. Things we say about him every week, pretty much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
Apart from obviously that Millwall game, and that. But I watched the highlights of that. I know we're going to get into it. And we got done in that game, really. Well, you know, we come back, which was good, but the offside goal and that, and the chances, I think play like we have been playing, we should be all right. But anyway, yeah, 7.5.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's understandable.
And I liked it when he won, you know, the second goal, and he run all the way to celebrate with the rest of the players, and then like thought, I better go back now, because you know what I mean.
I didn't even see that. That's mad. But yeah, not much to do. Easy afternoon, exactly, mate. 7.5, exactly that. Moving on to the next player, we'll go on to Bell. I thought he was really good again. Obviously, like we keep saying, you know, he's been a lot better under Rob Edwards when he's been playing this left-sided centre-back role. Like I said, I think he just has a freedom to go forward and do what he's, you know, we know he's good at. And he, you know, he dealt well with them. Not that he really had to do an awful lot, but just a sense, you know, he was winning the ball back and stuff like that and linking up well like he usually does on that left side. So yeah, again, I'm just going to go with another 7.5.
Yeah, I'll give him 7.5. Like what I noticed was he didn't. Yeah, he had that shot. He definitely weren't making them much forward runs that he has in previous games. But I think that was that they possibly were looking to exploit that. Do you know what I mean? With their quality that they do have in their team, and they might have been looking, if he was making it, could have left gaps and stuff. So I think he was probably told to sit back a little bit more. Don't go as forward than that as this game. Just play the ball, you know, and things like that. And he done that well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, 7.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jackie says, for me, they'll get 10 out of 10. Excellent performance. Yeah, fair enough. You know, it is the derby, so it's understandable, and we won it, you know, clean sheet. But Stephen's rating, he's gone, Bell was solid, loved the reggae boy, 7.5. Yeah, I was saying, like, it's just mad with these footballers, right? 1 minute they're playing in, obviously he was playing in Mexico, I think it was. And then obviously next minute he's back at Luton, and he was just, you know, was just really good yet again, you know, so absolutely. And then moving on to Lockyer, again, solid, brilliant. Obviously, he come out and said, obviously I said it in one of the videos I've been doing, so it's one of his favourite games ever that he's played in. Obviously, he has played in like the Bristol derbies as well. Yeah, he was brilliant. Obviously, the captain yet again, you know, and he was just brilliant. He was just solid yet again, you know, just getting stuck in. You know what he's like. So for me, for Lockyer, I'm going to go over 8.
I'll give him slightly more, 8.5. I thought he was outstanding, involved in the first goal as well, winding them up as well, like when they had a little wrestling match on the floor and that. And then, you know, there was a couple of things there where he could have, you know, not lost it, but, you know, got booked and whatever, and he didn't. And then he made some run forward as well. And if he'd have got that 1-2 and got the shot off, that would have been really, really good. So, like, you know, he was on the ball in this game. I thought he was really, really good for a captain as well. 8.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's understandable. Steve says, Lockyer, Mr. Consistent. It was all over the back, 7.8 exactly. And I think I noticed about him a lot, right? is when teams try and play long balls, he's just headering like pretty much every single one away.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure when we played Millwall in February, he was doing the same thing there. I'm pretty sure in the first half on the watch long, kept saying he's doing it, he's doing it.
His positioning of winning headers and that is excellent.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And then moving on to the last centre back, obviously out of three, and obviously that was the goal scorer, one of the goal scorers, should I say, Osho. He was brilliant. Obviously, the goal, brilliant. Part of that clean sheet, of course, just getting better and better each week for me. When it comes to him, being able to start regularly or should be starting regularly, shall I say? So, yeah, for me, he was my man of the match as well. Because he just redeemed himself as well. Obviously, the celebration as well. I didn't even see that until you showed me a video of it. So yeah, fair play to him for that, because obviously all the stick and crap he got, even though obviously he got a red card in the last game against them. Like I said, and for me, he was the only player that proper showed passion that game. Proper showed it here with obviously a lot of other players. And like I said, my man of the match. So as for a rating, oh dear, I'm debating with this one. What do I go with? Do you know what? I don't usually do it a lot. I'm going with a 10, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. Most complete performance probably I've seen from him. And to get the goal as well. Defended really well, passing really good, just up for it, Best performance probably seen it, yeah. I'm going to give him a 9.
That's fair enough. Stephen says, Osho improving every game. Exactly. That goal was redemption. Love the cry and demonstration. He was class 8. Yeah, no, he was class, mate. Brilliant. Like I said, my man of the match. And then moving on to the wing backs, we'll start off with Drame. Obviously, again, very good from him. You can see the qualities there, like we say, week upon week. Linking up very well on that right-hand side, especially with Osho and, with the midfield, quick passes, winning the ball back and that. And yeah, I thought he was very impressive, to be honest. So I'm going to give him an 8.5.
Yeah, same. I'll give him 8.5. Effective. The quality shows through now, but he rarely makes any mistakes as well. It's good at winning the ball. Better than Bree was as well. And it's he's starting to really gel with us, and I can't can see us hopefully keeping hold of him as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, 8.5.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And then obviously Doherty on the other side, another player that was very good. Could say to a sense redeemed himself as well, because obviously a lot of players weren't great in their 4-0 loss, of course. And yeah, he done well. He done well yet again. Again, he was similar to Drame, where he's linking well, obviously with the players on the left, and your Nakambas and that on that side more predominantly. So yeah, good from him as well. I'm going to go with another 8.5.
Yeah, I'll give him 8.5. I think he was involved in both of the goals as well, getting loads of stick from when he was taking throw-ins and that. The previous game, but he weren't really definitely since Rob Edwards has been in charge. He's improved massive, but we know he's a good player anyway.
Yeah, so, we always say we saw it at that West Ham game.
Always a threat. He's always dangerous. You rate him. You can definitely see him doing all right in the Premier League as well. 8.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like we say, we always saw it in that West Ham game. We could just, sense something. And like you say, obviously West Ham might not be a Premier League team for much longer, but he was up against Johnson as well, who is a good youngster. So yeah, and he there's games where West Ham were actually doing well, like fighting near the top and that, and he was starting in a lot of their games. So yeah, absolutely. Drame, Stephen says, best game to date. Edwards sign him up. Yeah, hopefully, man. I do think as well, the way Leeds results are going, if they stay up, I don't think they'll look at maybe getting him back, to be honest. So I think that might benefit us, personally. I'm not sure if you're the same on that, Dad.
Sorry, yeah. This vape's a bit strong. Yeah, well, we'll see. That's the thing, isn't it? You know, if they get relegated, then if we've got better players in that position, and they might potentially leave, then you could see them going back there. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah, exactly.
I think we'll just have to see how it goes on that. Do you know what I mean? I think it does hinge on us getting promoted a little bit. We're more likely to keep on with that in that respect, because obviously, he's going to be he'll know to get regular Premier League football. So
exactly. Yeah, exactly that. And then Stephen's rating on Doherty says struggled to begin with, grew in the game 7.7. Yeah, no, absolutely with that one. And then moving on to the midfield, we'll start off in the Canberra. What a performance, by the way. He actually broke a record this season in the Championship. What did I say it was? I think it was most tackles in the game. I think it was 10, like one individually or something like that. He was brilliant. I remember a lot of times, because we did, lose the ball odd, every now and then, but we just won it back straight away. It was like whoever lost it would just win it back straight away. It was just brilliant. The effort levels were just brilliant in the game. I felt, he did do that at times, but he was just brilliant. He was just everywhere. He's the guy in front of the defence that keeps things steady. And he's just getting better and better upon each game. Obviously, we know his Premier League quality, but just, throughout his time at Luton, obviously we know, Preston away wasn't as great for him. But ever since then, he's just got more used to it in that sense. And he's just, oh, mate, what a player. What a player. So, yeah, as for a rating, I'm actually going to put him up there, to be honest. I'm going to go with a 9.
Yeah, I think he was really good. Like, I was tempting to give him man of the match. So he's pretty close for me. I'm going to give him a 9.5. But, yeah, he was all over. And he wins the tackle. He's such an intelligent player as well. Like, and he's definitely made a difference. Like, first couple of games or what? Yeah, first game he looked all right when he come on. Then he had, like, a dodgy game and a half or whatever. But since then,
exactly,
one of our best players, and he was catalyst in that because he's in there breaking up, winning back then tackles and things like that. Like, yeah, do you know what I mean? It's not all the super technical stuff and that, but that helps us in the midfield massively. That stops teams like Watford with the players that they've got just coming at us. Do you know what I mean? And he's a massive part of that, and that's a key, very clever signing that could actually help us get over the line this time. I thought, it's very close to being man of the match for me.
And I think what you've just said there links into what Stevens has put here, where obviously he's outstanding, it's his man of the match, but he says after that we didn't know it how much we needed him. To I agree.
Well, I thought we needed a defensive midfielder for a while. Do you know what I mean? But we didn't really know too much. And then
for me, it was officially we needed one when Ray leaves.
Because there was times where our midfield was getting overrun and things like that. Yet, players paid in the wrong positions and that, and you need a player like that. When you're successful, most clubs have got a player like that. Vieira, we had Nichols. Do you know what I mean? Before, you need a player like that in your midfield, 100%, man. And we were lacking that. But 9.5. Excellent.
Yeah. And you can say to a certain extent, I know they had some shocking results. Well, obviously on Sunday, but United with Casemiro, that's another example in that sense. There's that. And then moving on to Campbell. Obviously got the other goal. He was brilliant. Like I said, very unlucky not to score in the first half. He was just good, confirmed the win for us. Solid, getting stuck in, not giving them space. You know what you get from Campbell, really. And it was one of them, like I said, scored that goal as well. That confirmed it. So as for a rating, I'm going to give him... I'm going to go with a 9.5 as well.
It's decision time for me. He's my man of the match, he was close with the shot. He was there. We don't normally see him having that. He was so hungry. and done, you know what I mean, in this game. And yeah, he deserved that goal. And he was all over, you know, making sure things ticked over in the midfield. And Nakamba being further back gave him that little bit of license to get forward as well. He doesn't want to not be in that team. And he really grafted in that game. I am going to give him, it's close because there's a couple, you know, but
Yeah.
He's my man of the match. I'll give him a 10. Yeah, I'll give him a 10, mate.
Yeah. Magnitude of the game as well. You know, that's only right. We give players double figures, obviously the man of the matches. But yeah. Stephen says Campbell, Pitbull, nice goal, 9.4. Exactly that, mate. Then moving on to the other midfielder, obviously Ruddock. Brilliant to see him back. Like I said, like my dad said earlier, it doesn't look like he had any knocks or anything. It was the Ruddock we saw before, you know, where he just always getting stuck in, you know, and he was excellent, mate. Absolutely excellent. Great to see him back. You know, what a guy, man. What a guy he is. But as for a rating, I'll go with an 8.
I'm going to give him a 9.5. I thought he's magnificent.
Jeez.
Yeah, I come back from this injury, which, you know, obviously it weren't as bad.
I'm just laughing because I said 8.
I'm still thinking, you know, like he must have been still carrying some of that. He must have been.
Mate, yeah, the tiniest bit at least, surely.
Yeah. And he was, again, magnificent. Part of that whole reason why we won, involved in was it the first goal? Yeah.
The assist.
You know, always like he lost the ball once, or you know, but other than that, he was fucking brilliant. And yeah, considering that no one expected him to play as well, and you know, 9.5.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I was just like I said, I was laughing. Wow, went from 8 and then he just went 9.5. But yeah, no, that's totally fair enough. Stephen says Pelly, the OG, good performance, 8.6. Yeah, the OG, man. That's why we love him, man. What a guy. Big up Greg in the chat as well. He says, yes, boys. Thought I'd say hello. So that's one of your mates, Dad. So there you go.
One of my mates, one of your mates as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Big up to Greg, you know what I mean? But yeah, that is that. And then moving on to obviously the players up front. I thought they were both very unlucky not to score. That's the first thing I'm going to say. First player we'll go to, who should we go to first? We'll go to Morris. So obviously he had that chance in the first half, like you mentioned earlier. Obviously we know he's ever since that West Brom game where he scored that goal, he's just had the confidence to, you know, go on and just take more long shots. That's what I've noticed with him. Obviously, we know most of his goals is because he's so good in the box, and obviously he gets a lot of goals from in the box. But yeah, like I said, very unlucky not to score. So yeah, for me, when it comes to a rating, I'm gonna go with a 9. I'm gonna go with the same number as his shirt. I'm gonna go with a 9.
I get like this is, you know, I'll give it a 9.5. Yeah, I thought, you know, involved in you know, winning the headers and that, in the corners, involved in Campbell's goal, you know, getting that header back across, and the shot, you know, just on point, you know, running them ragged, mate, running them ragged. And again, that contributes, you know, yeah, he didn't score, but they were focused on him and Elijah more than anyone else because they were outstanding. Do you know what I mean? So 9.5. Just unlucky that he didn't get a goal, really.
Yeah, no, exactly that. Stephen says Morris grinded it out, 8. Exactly that, mate. And then obviously Elijah, the other player, again, like I said, very unlucky not to score. There's a moment in the second half. Well, actually, there was 2. Obviously, that chance where he's hit the keeper in the, you know, and then obviously he had a chance. I don't know if it's before or after. But obviously the keeper got down to it and caught it. Brilliant bit of skill. I think he skilled up like 2 players. So yeah, it was something like that. Very unlucky not to score, like I said. Again, similar to Morris, you know, when they did have the rare chances going forward, they were dealing with it, coming back, helping out as well. Elijah does that a lot, though. That's what I've noticed with him. He does that a lot. And yeah, brilliant from him. So I'm going to go also with a 9 for him.
But like, he was very close for me to being match because that's the best I've ever seen him play. Right, with his dribbling, his runs, and that he was, you could see it coming together. Before that, when he nutmegged the Sunderland, was it Sunderland defender or Sheffield United defender? I think it might have been Sheffield United defender. When Morris.
Yeah,
scored.
Sheffield United. Sorry, yeah, for the assist on the Morris goal.
We were saying before, he tries that too much, and sometimes he just needs. But he was just running rings around them. I don't know whether their defence ain't quite up to other Championship defence or what, but he was just winning them all the time, and he was dangerous, and he was so unlucky not to score, and that's the best I've seen him play.
Yeah,
without scoring. Yeah, it sounds bizarre, but whatever. Yeah, I'm giving him a 10.
Fair enough.
And I do feel like he's getting to that point where he's just going to reach that next notch. You know what I mean? Go up a gear.
Yeah, I really hope he does get double figures this season. What's he on now? 7, isn't it? Something 7, 8.
8. I don't think he's too far behind. Just get a hat trick.
Yeah. It's 2 or 3 goals. I know that. It's 7 or 8. I just can't remember. I think it might be 7. But yeah, no, absolutely. Greg says, I'm off now. Going to bust some FIFA. Real football. I mean, some of the stuff I see on FIFA, I don't know about that. But he says, keep up the good work, T. Smashing it. Thank you. He says, speak to you both soon as well. Absolutely. So yeah, then we go with that one. Stephen says, Adabo.
Hold up play. Again.
Nuisance, sorry.
Magnificent. Do you know what I mean? Like he was just winning everything, pretty much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He looked dangerous. He deserved a goal, definitely 100%.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So yeah, there you go. And obviously holding up play as well, 8.2. And then moving on to subs. I think we only made 1 sub in this game. Yeah, and it was it was Woodrow in the 90th plus 3rd minute. So we can't really say too much, really. I'm just going to go with a standard 6.
I'll give him a 6.5. Do you know what I mean? I don't think get a 6. I don't think he come on, done what he had to do, but he didn't do anything stupid. He weren't throwing the ball out, which I've berated him for before. So yeah, 6.5. And that's interesting because they made quite a lot of subs, and I thought, come on, like maybe we need to take someone else off, but no. And that's what Robin.
To be fair, me being there,
said that he felt that basically he didn't need to because they just looked like they would handle it. They weren't getting tired. Do you know what I mean? They were so up for getting them and things like that, and hence why we scored late on. So he just thought, nah, don't need to. And that's good management. That is that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because me at the game, even I felt I weren't even feeling that. I think it was just because I was so, no one was really saying it around me either. We were just so confident that we were going to win the game. I think that's what it was, to be honest.
Yeah, there was no one who was like, oh, he's looking a bit tight. You know what I mean? They were just, even if they were, they definitely didn't show it.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, no, absolutely. So there you go. There are all the player ratings. Obviously, you gave Campbell man of the match. I give it to Osho. Like I said, especially in this game, there's a lot of people you could give it to. My close one was actually Elijah. So yeah, that is that. But a lot of players up there as well for me. So any final thoughts? Any final things you want to say? Because I don't want to jinx it.
No.
These guys next season.
Just may not, but don't get too, like Robert would says, don't get too cocky into, because football can come back and mess you up, and it does happen with Fulham before we got in the playoffs last season. We had some injuries and that, but do you know what I mean? So, it's just still like keep it. You're going to expect if we do get promoted, don't be expecting that we're going to be finishing the top half of the table because I can't really. It is a big step up, but I'm sure we'll recruit as well as we can and continue that cycle. And if we do go down, be if we went down to League One now, even last season, or even the season before, with the squad that we had then, we'd come straight back up. Do you know what I mean? So that's what you got to build. You got to be making sure that if you do get relegated, you're still attractive. You've got more money, and the players will be wanting to come to you. more so than they would have, before. And they're going, yeah, because they're getting a new stadium soon. That was always mentioned and stuff. It's not even mentioned now. Do you know what I mean? So it's more about what, everything about us. And, it helps other players that, that have potentially been put on the wayside by certain clubs. Nah, he's not. We've given 2 games. He's not good, like Doughty, and they just improve under us, and that's a good thing. So yeah,
no, absolutely.
Joy the ride.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. But yeah, moving on to obviously our game tomorrow, which is another it's that away game. Obviously, our last game was obviously at home, but an away game for us, away at the Den, obviously taking on Millwall. Now, obviously, we only played each other 2 months ago. What was it in the end? I was saying it on the channel yesterday. The game got rescheduled twice, was it?
I think
it was
so,
twice in the end. Hence why it was so late on in the season, being in February for the first time. Obviously, that was a 2-2 draw. Obviously, we come back from behind, like we said, Berry. Oh, mate, what goal that was. But yeah, no, this time round, obviously, it's at their ground. Obviously, when we took on each other last season at their ground, we did win 2-0. Pretty comfortable win, I remember it. Cornick got a double, one in the top right and then one in the bottom right, I think it was, or bottom top left, vice versa. But yeah, this one is going to be an interesting one, of course. Obviously, it is on TV. It is obviously early kickoff. Thank God, we're not like certain teams where we got a TV voodoo. Obviously, we did have that for a while, but and obviously the 12:30 games as well. Tend to do well in them. Obviously, it's back-to-back 12:30 games as well for us. Millwall, obviously, going into this, on what I usually look on, are slightly the favourites. I think that's because they're at home, to be honest, though. And they are quite good at home. But then again, we're good away. But yeah, it's only by like 6%. So one of them. A bit going into it. Millwall have lost 1 of their last 10 league games against Luton. Obviously, the one was I mentioned last season. Luton are looking to win consecutive away league visits to Millwall for the first time since a run of 3 between 1996 and 1999. Millwall have only lost 2 of their last 3 games at the Den, winning 1. As many as in their previous 19, in that winning 12 and drawing 5. Not since April 2021 have the Lions lost consecutive home league fixtures. Luton are unbeaten on the road in the Championship in their last 8 games, winning 5, drawing 3. Only in November 1981 have the Hatters enjoyed a longer such run in the second tier. That was 10 games. No side has kept more clean sheets in the Championship this season than Luton, 17 level with Burnley and Coventry when it comes to that. Doing so in 5 of their last 7 games. Each of the Hatters' last 8 league victories have been to 0, which is just pretty impressive, that. A bit more going into it, and then obviously we'll say how we're feeling going into it. Obviously, we're heading down to South London, of course. Obviously, on Sky Sports, it will be on. The Hatters are on a high after beating local rivals Watford and have gone 7 goals without defeat, while Millwall look to strengthen their place in the Sky Bet Championship playoffs. Rob Edwards going into it, he said it's the next game and they don't come much more difficult than Millwall away. Their home form has been very strong and they've been strong all season anyway, home or away. They're a tough nut to crack. They're very well coached with very good individual players as well. It's an extremely difficult game, but one we're looking forward to as well. Lads have risen to a lot of challenges, really tough games, and some of our best performances have been in those big games. We're looking forward to it again. He's talking absolute facts there because, you look at games like, so they're not doing as great as a lot of people would have thought. There's still a team fighting for the playoffs, Norwich. The way we come around in that one. Obviously, the teams again at the top, the performances put up against them as well. Millwall, a bit about them, a bit more. Millwall currently sit within the playoff places in 5th, 4 points adrift as Norwich City, who occupy 7th place. The hosts have had a recent downturn in form. Lions have failed to score in their last 2 games and have only accumulated 1 point from those 2 games. Obviously, their last 2 games, they lost to Huddersfield at home, which I was very surprised about. And then obviously they drew to West Brom, which I did expect, but I didn't think it'd be 0-0. And then Fleming has been the standout performer for Millwall in his debut season in English football, scoring 13 times in the Championship this term, including the opener at Kenilworth Road in February. So yes, when Ethan unfortunately had that bit in that game. And then Bradshaw has returned his highest Championship goal tally of his career so far, scoring 14 goals this season, and also netted the 2nd goal in the reverse fixture. So that is that. When it comes to fans going to the game, there is going to be 2,599. So yep, big up to everyone that goes to that, especially obviously all the way to London. It's not easy to get to. Obviously, it's not superly far, but early on a Friday as well. So fair play to everyone that goes to that. And officials. Now, this is interesting when I had a little look at this. So it's actually going to be Darren England, who actually is a Premier League referee. It's different in league. So we'll see how that goes. He's yet to take charge of a game for Luton this season. He's taken charge of 24 games this season, 14 of which were in the Premier League, handing out 91 yellow cards and 3 red cards. So, interesting that to me. But after saying all of that, how are you feeling going into this one, Dad?
Well, it's a bit strange. Normally, maybe, should I say, again, under Nathan Jones at times, we'd probably end up losing this game. But I just feel, we've got quite a poor record against them away. But, I was looking at the games where we did lose, even like previous to the last one, which we won. We've got a much better team now. We've moved on more than they have. They have got some quality players still, but I just think that if you go at them, you can score against them, and so I'm feeling confident we can get a result for definite.
Yeah. No, I'm the same. Obviously, I've done little previews and obviously done my score prediction earlier, which obviously I'll get into at the end here as well. And I just don't think we'll. I don't think we'll lose. Given how good they are at home, we were also very good away. We're the 3rd best side away in the Championship, and the 2 teams above us is Burnley and Sheffield United. Who, obviously we're in the shout to get top 2, but I do think Sheffield United will end up getting it, and obviously Burnley will go on to win the league. It's just, will they do it? We'll see this week. Tomorrow or Monday. Depends what we do as well for their results, but. Yeah, I just don't think we will. I just don't think we'll lose this game.
So you've got to consider that they put in such an effort as well against Watford that that could affect some of them. So maybe there might be a couple of changes. I don't know, but we've got to watch out for that as well. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be a tough game, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. And the funny thing is, when I look at it, Millwall actually have the same points at home as we do away, which is pretty mad. But I would say ours is more impressive because it is away. So yeah, it's one of them. Obviously, we will get into the lineup. Just gonna read this comment from Stephen. So supporting Luton is a roller coaster. I wouldn't change it for anything. Absolutely, mate. The more I've been a lot more invested into Luton as I got more into football. Yeah, man, it's brilliant, man. It's absolutely brilliant. To see what we're doing as well. It's just quality. So yeah, obviously saying all that, let's get into the lineup. So yeah, let me just do that. If it wants me to share my screen, not what it's usually moved like. I need to do that half the time. So let me try again. Oh, am I still here?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, my thing's doing the typical, not responding. It's been doing all right the last couple of days. Obviously, we know anyway. Ethan will, be in goal. You know, that's the obvious one. So that's that. At the same time, you know, it's difficult. But could I see some changes? Because I could see it from both sides. Yes, because obviously it's an early kickoff, it's away. You know, obviously after having that game against Watford where everyone worked so hard, and I can't share my screen now, so that's what we want. And then at the same time, sometimes you don't really like to change a winning team, do you? So it's interesting for me. It's interesting. But like I said, so obviously Ethan in goal. Hold on, let me change formation as well. So it's that one. So Ethan in goal. There he is. Centre backs. I'm gonna go. Ocho. Didn't mean to put two O's. I'm gonna go with Lockyer in the middle. And then on the left, I'm going to go Bell. So I'm going to go unchanged when it comes to that. Where is it? It's always near the bottom somewhere. There he is. Right wing back, I'm going to go with, obviously, Grayme. Of course. On the left, I'm going to go Gravity, of course. Now, the midfield, I'm going to go... obviously, going to go Campbell. I feel this is definitely a game that'll suit him as well. Way, obviously, it's going to be Canberra. And then above that, like I said, I agree with you that I don't think Clark's thing serious. I think it's just probably a knock. I don't know if I would drop Ruddock, you know. But then again, I could see that. I could see that just due to the sense of Clark being back.
It's either Campbell or Ruddock.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't really see it being Campbell because he was so good in the last game, but you never know. Ruddock, you know, maybe, you know, if he's still, you know, he put a lot of effort into that game, you don't want to, you know, potentially maybe on the bench,
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm going to go Clark. I think this way he comes back in.
Well, you know, all right, I said, you know, put a lot of effort in that in the last game, but they did have a 2-week international break or whatever it was before that. So,
true.
You know, it won't be as bad as we're thinking. But yeah, I do feel like, you know, Clark hasn't warranted any reason for being, you know, I think if he's fit, he'll start this time.
Yeah, no, I think so, to be honest. And then up front, I wouldn't make any changes personally when it comes to up front, especially after their performance last game. I mean, Morris is always going to play. It's just maybe Elijah, but more than likely for me, he will start. So yeah, that's the lineup I'd go with. So obviously we've spoke about the cam position. Other than that, and obviously the midfield. Other than that, would you make any changes?
I don't think so. All I could see potentially is maybe if we're doing all right in the game, or even if we're not, you know, there'd be subs earlier than there was in the last game and things like that. Do you know what I mean? And if there's any signs of that, then yeah. So let's see who's on the bench.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So here's that time. Score predictions and goal scorers. Now, for me, I'll get mine out of the way. Obviously, if you missed my championship predictions, do make sure you check them out after this, though, for the other games and that as well. I've gone with a 1-1. I say I just can't see us losing. If someone is to win, I could probably see it beating us because, you know, we're really good away, and just, you know, I just could see it, especially Millwall's last 2 games. But I'm going to go for 1-1, and I think a point would suit us more than them because, you know, we've got a bit of a gap compared to where they are. And also, like I said on my championship predictions, I did say as well, if Blackburn beat Norwich, they will go above Millwall. Millwall will still be in the playoffs, but they'll be above them. So I'm going with a 1-1. Is my prediction. I'll do goal scorer as well now. I'll go Morris. So,
pretty much exactly the same as me. I mean, that's how I'm feeling. I've had 1-1 in my mind for a couple of weeks, and now I'm just thinking that again. I wouldn't be surprised if we got another 1-0. But
yeah, it would be
they're different outfit to Watford. They're similar to us in certain ways as well. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, if we go at them, we can. But I just think they'll be better prepared. They are half decent at home. They've got a decent record against us. And I just feel like it's just going to end up being a draw. So I'm going to go 1-1 as well, and I'll also go Morris to score our goal.
There you go. Both going to go same goal scorer as well. And getting your score predictions as well. Jackie's gone 2-1 to us. Hopefully. So you've been doing well on your betting, your predictions and that as well. So if that does come through, then that would be nice. If you have put one on, of course. But either way, even if it is 2-1 like that, it'll be nice. But then obviously after this, move on. Obviously we'll get more into it on Sunday. But obviously we've got Blackpool there, so me that's a game we should really look at to win. We will see. And Jackie's goal scorers gone with Elijah and Morris to the two up front. Nice. That would be nice. But yeah, Dad, any final things you would like to say?
I just enjoyed the ride because it could potentially be even better than you expect, but just keep focused and just be prepared for the playoffs because I think that is what is probably going to happen. And that is squeaky bum time.
Yeah, exactly. We know about that through last season. So yeah, man, we'll see what goes on. But like I said, I'll not be going to the game. Me and you, Dad, will be doing a watch along. So that's going to be good. And we're going to be doing match reaction together and player ratings literally on the day as well. So yeah, there's going to be quite a bit of content when it comes to that tomorrow. So make sure you do check that out, especially if you're not going to the game. Try and tune into the watch along, of course, if you can. And then as for obviously, if you do go to the game, do enjoy it, do make the most of it. And hopefully we come back with the 3 points. Like I said, if we got one, I wouldn't be too disappointed, depending on how the actual game goes. But right now, I wouldn't mind a draw, to be honest. It wouldn't hurt us too much. But yeah, there you go with that. That is episode 95 of the Hat Show done. Like I said, we'll be back again on Sunday evening. Not sure of the time yet. I'm not sure. Just keep your eyes peeled. I'll let you guys know. But we should have a Blackpool fan on for that as well. To preview that game. So there we go with that. Appreciate that. Jackie says I will tune in but watch on telly. Yep, no worries. Appreciate anybody that tunes in, of course. And I'll probably schedule that at some point tonight as well, because obviously it's early kickoff and that sort of thing. So yeah, that is that. But yeah, don't forget to smash a like on the stream if you haven't already. We're currently on 9 likes. I know a lot of people watch this back on playback as well, so don't forget to smash a like there. Also, big up to everyone that did watch the last Hat Show. Obviously, I know it's a massive game, but that ended up getting, I think that was the most views a Hat Show ever got. I think it got 119 or something like that. So big up to yourselves for that. And don't forget to smash a like I said. As for new subscribers, I know we gained quite a lot over the last couple of days. So big up to yourselves for that. Like I said, make sure you do check out Championship predictions after this stream. If you want to follow me across any of my socials, link to them are in the description. And until tomorrow, subscribe to the other channel as well, T-Boys TV Extra. We'll both see you tomorrow. So yeah, until next time, take care and peace.